Hello guys, and welcome back to another educational video. For those of you who don't get your words out, Dom, don't know me, my name's Dominica. I'm a nurse and functional health coach, and I've battled my own hormonal issues. So today I want to talk about that feeling that we get by 3 p.m. where we're drained and we are hitting a wall. I'm going to talk about why we get it and how to fix it. Because if you're craving sugar, for example, chocolate, if you're bashing out coffees at 2 p.m, you're falling asleep at your desk and you don't know why, you can't figure it out, it's not normal. So let's dive into it. When you experience these symptoms, it's simply your body trying to tell you something. And one of the biggest myths we see, and we've been conditioned to believe, is that when we're adults, it's normal to hit this midday wall, midday crash. It's really not. And people joke about it. They're like, oh, it's the 3 p.m. slump. I need my coffee. That's just life. It's just part of getting old and being an adult. Let's wipe those myths clear and start again. And yes, whilst our bodies naturally experience a bit of an energy shift during the second half of the day, the afternoon, due to our circadian rhythm, feeling exhausted every single day at that time is not normal. And that often is a reflection of the choices that you have made throughout the day. So the things that you ate for breakfast, the things that you drank before that time, the way that you slept and how long you slept, the quality of your sleep, and obviously how much you moved that morning, for example, let's say. And you know what? This coming up is actually positive because that means that we can improve on this and make changes. So let's first talk about starting your day, because a lot of people start the day very, very wrong. So you probably know what I'm going to say, but breakfast, or the lack of breakfast, or the wrong breakfast for most people. Most people will wake up, have a coffee, rush out the door and not have anything for breakfast. The other half of the people will wake up, have cereal, have jam on toast, something really, really high in sugar. That's not going to keep them full, and it's not going to keep their blood sugars stable. And you might have a little pastry from Starbucks and a quick coffee while you're going through the drive-through. But that, yes, is going to give you a boost of energy, but it's not going to stay stable. You are going to have a crash, and it's going to come crashing down pretty quick and pretty soon. And then you feel tired, you're sluggish, you get brain fog, you're falling asleep at your desk, and you're like, oh, you know what I'm going to have to reach for? Another coffee and another sugary snack. And then you just keep repeating the cycle. Whereas if you would have had a balanced breakfast with protein, fats and carbs, for example, some Greek yogurt with some protein powder, berries and nuts, or some eggs, avocado and toast, or a protein smoothie, you would have seen your energy being a lot more stable throughout the day. Now, when I mention blood sugar, a lot of people think, oh, diabetes straight away. I don't have diabetes, or do I? But that's not the case, because blood sugar affects every single one of us humans. And every meal that you eat contributes to stable energy, or the opposite, the crashes. So if your lunch looks like a meal deal with sandwich crisps and a fizzy drink, or a big bowl of pasta with absolutely no protein in it, do not be surprised if you find yourself yawning an hour later. Now, I'm not telling you to cut carbs, okay? Because a lot of people are actually scared of carbs, and this is not what I'm saying. Carbohydrates are important for energy function, for cognitive function. So it's not about not having them, it's about what you pair them with, which we would normally pair them with some protein, whether that's chicken, fish, beef, whatever, tofu, or some healthy fats, whether that is a little bit of cheese, avocado, healthy olive oil or coconut oil, okay? These will keep the spike that carbohydrates normally give us, the blood sugar spike, it will keep it at more of a steady spike state rather than a really, really steep one. And when you add protein and fats to these carbohydrate meals, another thing that you are doing is you're slowing down digestion, which will mean that the release of energy is a lot steadier throughout the day. And that, my friend, is what will keep you going throughout the afternoon crash. Now, one thing that gets overlooked is hydration, okay? A lot of people are very much so dehydrated. And if you're sat here telling me, yeah, but I drink lots of tea. Tea dehydrates you, coffee dehydrates you, okay? We need water to hydrate ourselves and electrolytes to keep the nutrients in there too. Because mild dehydration can actually leave you feeling tired, exhausted and brain foggy. And most people have 2 coffees before they even have a glass of water, which is insane. The first thing that you should be having upon waking is a big glass of water, 500 mils, to hydrate your body and get you feeling good. And that isn't only going to help you feel more energetic and more alive, your skin will be glowier, you will be less bloated, you will be holding less water retention because water actually flushes water. So if you struggle to get the water intake in, my few tips for you are: get one of those bottles with timings on, and then you can set yourself challenges to drink. Add some lemon in there, add some mint and some berries if you really want some flavour. Add some electrolytes in there too, you know? You have to work around this if you don't like water, which is wild because water doesn't taste of anything. Now, another issue we have is people are over caffeinated, and I used to do this. I can hold my hands up. I used to be a caffeine junkie. I would have 3 coffees, monsters and pre-workout, and actually being over caffeinated, so drinking too much caffeine, can have the opposite effect. It can actually make you feel more tired and have more crashes. And this used to be me. At 1 o'clock, I used to be falling asleep at the desk and I'm like, I've had so much caffeine. That is why. So one thing to remember is that caffeine isn't actually energy, okay? Caffeine is masking while trying to mask tiredness. And what it does, it blocks the signal in your brain that actually makes you feel sleepy. But what it doesn't do is solve the reason why you are tired in the first place. So then when this wears off, you get a further crash and you feel even worse. Now, another coffee mistake I see people having is having coffee as soon as they wake up. And I talk about this a lot because naturally when you wake up, your cortisol is at its highest, okay? And by having a coffee, you're increasing that cortisol even more. So if you want to have a coffee in the morning, have a decaf or wait till after breakfast, when your cortisol levels dropped off a little bit by then, at least a couple of hours after waking. Now, this one is for my sedentary people who sit a lot at work, okay? That can also make you tired, and you're thinking, well, how can I help this when I sit at a desk all day, Dom? And trust me, I sit at a desk all day too, and the days that I find I don't get up as much, I feel more tired. It might sound backwards, but when you don't move, you do actually feel more tired. I know that on the days I don't go to the gym, on my rest days, I feel a lot more tired. And that's because you're less alert, your circulation starts to slow down, and you get more comfortable just sitting still. But all we need sometimes is a 5 to 10 minute walk outside just to switch on our brain and get ourselves going. Stand up, stretch, go for a walk whilst you're doing a work call. Go out for a little walk on your lunch break or on your coffee break. Go to the toilet every hour and a half, just to get yourself moving. Those little breaks can actually make a massive difference in your energy and your focus at work. So now let's talk about how do we fix this afternoon slump. If you're actually serious about improving your energy, here is where I would start. First of all, breakfast. Protein, fats and carbs, a nice balanced one. Secondly, drink enough water throughout the day. Thirdly, make sure your lunch is just as healthy and you're having regular meals and not leaving big gap between meals, nor are you relying on sugary snacks to keep you going. Number 4, be smarter with caffeine. Try not to have caffeine upon waking. Choose a decaf coffee and then try and have an actual caffeinated drink after breakfast, couple of hours after waking. Try not to smash the energy drinks and try and include more water whilst you're having coffee as well. And finally, move more. Little 5-minute walks, 2-minute walks to the bathroom every hour will help you keep that energy higher and that focus better. Because your energy isn't just random, it's actually a reflection of your habits and what you are doing every single day. Yes, there are medical conditions like iron deficiencies, B12 deficiencies, thyroid dysfunction, but if you are not nailing the basics first, there's no point looking into the other things, because you might fix your basic habits and things improve massively. And regardless, if you do have a deficiency, you have to fix the initial stuff first. So before you accept feeling exhausted and terrible every single afternoon, look into your habits and what you do every single day and fix them. Now, if this video helped you, let me know in the comments what you are going to try and work on moving forward. And obviously, if you need any support, you're always more than welcome to message me at domblonska on Instagram, or book a call with myself if you fancy a chat regarding one-to-one coaching at herhealthcoaching.co. And I'll see you next week.